Hi and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we're going to be welding in some repair sections to this near side sill area, which I mentioned in the last episode, and I actually showed you some of the repair panels that I'd made here, and this one goes inside the car. And what I've actually done is I've drilled out some holes in both parts, which is going to allow me to spot weld them in place, or sorry, plug weld them in place, and I'll also use some seam welding as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. And the fact that it's 34 degrees in here is beside the point, but I'm melting, so let's get on with it, and then I can go inside and have a nice long cool drink. Okay, I've just put this first panel in position, and I've just got to use a screwdriver just to line it up a little bit better. And so it's in place, and I think we'll weld it in. Well, not the best of welds, but I'll just grind it down and we'll have a look at this part, and then I'll spot weld or plug weld the underside. Okay, I've just dressed the top up and I've just come underneath the car, and as you can see, this is going to be plug welded onto the underside of the car. So it's going to be a bit awkward to film under here, so once I've finished I'll show you the end result. Okay, so those spot welds have taken quite well, and I'll just put a seam across there, and I think it's going to do the job quite well. I can see a little error I've made, but perhaps I'll go into that later on after I've welded the next section in, which I'll show you now. I'll just put that piece that goes across there in place, and then we'll look at it before we actually go ahead and weld it. Okay, as you can see, I've used a couple of clamps to clamp this piece in place, and you can see where I'm going to put the plug welds. Along here I can't get a clamp in, so I'm going to have to use a screwdriver just to push and hold that on while I spot weld it. I'm going to try, and I don't know how this is going to work out because I'm not used to filming things like this, and I don't want to get weld spots all over me camera. So I'll put this behind me and see how that goes. If I can use a footage I will, and I might just include a bit anyway, even if it doesn't work how I anticipate. And then I'll probably put some seam weld down there. I'm not 100% sure yet whether it actually needs that, because I'm going to treat the outside and put some I don't know, under seal on it to stop any moisture getting in there. But yeah, let's see how we go. So I'll just put you on a tripod and then we'll weld this up. And I think there's one more spot weld to make, and that's, yeah, it's not easy to get to, but I'm sure I'll get there. And here are the almost dressed up welds. So I've decided to change my mind, and I've actually put a few seam welds here and just up there, because I wasn't entirely happy just relying on those spot welds. And on the other side, rather than using seam sealer, and this doesn't look pretty, but it's solid, and this looks as though some gaps here, but they're not. They're actually the shadows from the light. So I've actually seam welded as far as I can up there, and some seam sealer will be put in right at the edge there where I can't get the weld. So I'm overall happy with that than just relying on what I showed you a little bit earlier. So that's just a change to what I've done, and I've got to include it in the video for completeness. Okay, so that's finished for this episode, but in the next one we'll be repairing this area here. And as I showed you in the last video, I think I've already manufactured or fabricated a piece to go in there, but it just needs a little bit of modification to match up with the one or two sections I'm going to fabricate to go in here. So yeah, that'll be an interesting job, and I'll show you the fabrication work as I go along. And just bear in mind that this is really the first meaningful fabrication I've done in a long time. But this here was the cover that was put in place by the last people who did some repairs on this car quite a while ago now, I think. And yeah, it's just sealed in place with some mastic and some self-tapping screws. So we're not going to go down that route again. I'd rather have it all solid. So yeah, if you've stuck with it now until now, thanks for watching, and there'll be lots more to come on this Rover P4 as we go along, and I'm getting more work done now, and I hope that can continue despite the very hot weather we've got now. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one, probably in about a week or so's time. Yep, cheers, bye.